Today we're going to be doing question number 13. This is from the SAT number 17. This is April 2019 test. And 13 says, as used in line 9, illusion most nearly means. So what we got to do is we got to find a word to replace illusion with. So the best way to do this is to go up to line 9. Try to figure out sort of what's the context of this right here, what's the context of the line, and then sort of decide a word that can replace it. So this line, this sentence says, psychological scientists have a name for this easy, automatic, simplistic thinking, the illusion of explanatory depth. So we need to find a word to replace this, illusion. So basically when we're talking about this illusion of explanatory depth, it's sort of this misunderstanding of how deep your ideas go. It's sort of this confusion, right? Or sort of this you have this imaginary explanatory depth. So we want a word that's going to emphasize the fact that people are confused about how deep their explanations go, that people are confused basically of how much they understand something. So let's see if we have an answer choice that's going to match that word for illusion. So the first one we have is misconception, which I think is a pretty decent substitute because we could kind of put that in there, and that would say they have a name for this easy, automatic, simplistic thinking, the misconception of explanatory depth. So they're misinformed. They have a misconception of how deep their understanding goes. I think this is a pretty good choice. Dream I don't think is going to work here, even though dream and illusion could kind of work together. We're going to take dream in the literal sense of like an actual dream that you have, and it doesn't really make sense if we plug that in, right? That they have this dream of explanatory depth. It doesn't capture the right sense of being confused that we want, so we should get rid of dream. C says charade. Charade is basically when you have, it's like a ruse. It's like basically you're trying to pull one over on someone. You're trying to pretend that something is the way it is. I don't think charade is going to work either because it has this idea of intention, right? Intentional deception, right? So the charade of explanatory depth, it's not like people are trying to confuse themselves about their explanatory depth. It's that they're genuinely confused. Then we have D, phantom, which is also just incorrect. Phantom, we're thinking ghosts, we're thinking spirits. It's just not going to match what we're talking about. Maybe in some metaphorical sense we could understand it, but if we take it literally, it makes no sense here. So I think A, misconception, is going to be the best answer choice for question number 13.